I want to share this with you because I almost can guarantee that someone out there that's going to watch this video will have thought or thinks this currently. So when I worked my 9 to 5 job, my corporate job, I would dream of not working the 9 to 5. I would dream that I wouldn't have to commute an hour and a half each way to work 5 days a week. And I've always been motivated to do side hustles. I've always been motivated to do some type of MLM or earn money outside of my 9 to 5 job. I've just always been like that. So I would sit there in my job and I would think, oh, if I only had time. Oh, if I only didn't have to go to work today, punch a clock, come home from my 1.5 hour commute after working a full day and cook dinner and then do dishes and then, sit on the couch for a little bit and then start over the next day. If only I didn't have to do that. If only I had all this time. Because you think that's what it is, right? You think you want all this time and that's why you don't want to work your 9 to 5 anymore. I'm just going to challenge that for a minute. It might be true. You may want to leave your 9 to 5 because you're just tired of the grind. You've worked your whole life, you've worked hard, and you're just tired of the grind, but you don't want to give up your income. You could be that person. But let me tell you this. So I left my 9 to 5 grind several years back. I want to say like 6 years ago now. Maybe I've lost track. But I left that job because my department was restructuring again. And I kind of saw the handwriting on the wall that there were a lot of changes in leadership that didn't feel like they were going in the direction that I was going to really align with. And so after a lot of discussion, my husband and I decided I would take my severance package and I would leave that 9 to 5 job. Well, it turns out it was the right decision because several months later after that, he decided to take a job transfer and we ended up in a different part of Arizona for about 3 years. Well, during that 3 years, I really kind of grew up a little bit, to be honest with you. I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of personal growth. I took a road trip across country, listened to a lot of really good books. Had to pull over at one moment because like literally the author Brene Brown, she was talking about vulnerability and I like had this moment where I realized that a lot of the things that I had been going through is my lack of vulnerability. Got my certification through the John Maxwell Group to become a speaker, trainer, coach. I'd already done training, so that wasn't anything new to me. Speaking was never something that I really thought I would, be all that interested in because I kind of freeze when I get on a stage. But the coaching was like really, really appealing to me. I loved it. I love coaching. So that was about eight years ago, I guess. So it led me down a path to do a podcast for women, which I did for 3 years. And I could not complain about time. My husband would leave early in the morning. I had an entire day. This was going on during the pandemic, so there really wasn't anywhere to go. I had 3 years all day long. About 2 years ago now, a little more than 2 years ago, we moved down to southern Arizona. And I am in the same position where my husband leaves early in the morning. I have all day long. I work my digital marketing business around my schedule. I usually do a little bit in the morning and then I exercise, walk, do all my things. And then I do a little bit more in the afternoon. Well, today my husband says, I think I'm gonna get off at noon today. We've been building this house. We've been doing it on our own. He says, I think I'm gonna get off at noon today and work on the fence. So we have a doggy door that goes out the back. We live in a barn apartment that we built recently. And there's a little doggy door that goes out in the back, but we have so much wildlife that can't really trust to let the dogs outside without keeping a constant eye on them. So we built this doggy door. Now we're enclosing a fenced area back there for the dogs to be able to go out safely and go potty. But we're leaving next weekend for a couple of days to hang out with our friends. And we're gonna let our stepson watch one of the dogs. We're taking one with us and the other one's gonna stay home. And he really wants to get that fence done. But he also really wants to go and do something totally unrelated to this that I may or may not talk about at some point in the future, but he wants to go do that tomorrow. So he says to me, I'm going to get off at noon so I can work on the fence so that when we leave tomorrow, I won't feel bad about going off and doing that instead of working around the property. And all of a sudden, my day went from a day where he leaves at about 6 a.m. and comes home somewhere between 4:30 and 5 o'clock on a daily basis. So that's like 10 and a half, 11 hours a day that I have to do whatever I want. Like literally like walk, exercise, read, do my digital marketing business. I try new recipes. I love to do crafty things. Sometimes I have a honey-do list from him. I had to paint the fence post yesterday. But all of a sudden, my day went from being a 10 and a half to 11 hour day to being scrunched. And I was just on my laptop, and this came to me. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, I really wanted to do about 5 things today for my business. And I don't know if I have time to do all 5 things. Typically, I work about 2 hours a day. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. If I get in a really creative streak and I batch some content and I have most of it ready to go, it's just kind of hanging out there saved in the drafts, and all I need to do is like tweak my caption or tweak my hook or something. Sometimes my day is really quick because I've already done all the heavy lifting. I've already come up with the B-roll, the concept for the video, the messaging I want to put out there. So I just have to, like, last minute really tweak something and off it goes. Most days I do try to spend a minimum of 30 minutes like learning something new, just continuing to grow and to get better. But today I had 5 things I wanted to do. And all of a sudden, because I already have like some built-in things, right? Like exercising is a non-negotiable thing. I take my dogs for about a 30-minute hike every morning, and then I come home and I do some strength training. Every woman has a story, right? We all have our things that we have to do, laundry, whatever it is. And I like had this flashback to those days sitting in my corporate job in my office and thinking, if only I had more time. And then I thought, okay, well then why don't you work your business today like you only have the time that you would have if you were still working your 9-to-5 job? Because I think the 9-to-5ers like me, and maybe it's you too, you think that the thing that's holding you back is your 9-to-5 or your lack of time, but you know what's really holding you back? Your mindset. Your mindset is what's holding you back, because I tell you, I can guarantee you, in the time that I have today, from the time he left at 6 a.m. to the time I finished exercising and walking and doing all the things, was probably about 8:30ish. It's 10:40 now, so I've had the last 2 hours to get some stuff done. I can guarantee you, if I was still a 9-to-5er and I had to get it done in my evening somewhere after my hour-and-a-half commute, after cooking dinner, after doing dishes, throwing a little laundry in, whatever all of us working women do on a daily basis, I guarantee you, if it meant enough to me, I would make sure I got all my activities done for my business. The activities that drive income for me, the activities that make me money. So I had that epiphany here on my laptop a few minutes ago because I saw something in my email related to my program, and I thought, oh, I want to try that. I want to do that. I want to learn that. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, time. It's just in your mind. I have plenty of time. It's 10:40. I still have an hour and 20 minutes. So stop thinking that time is your obstacle. It's your mindset that's your obstacle. Let me know if I can answer any questions. Send me a private message if you would like a copy of my daily pay blueprint that will show you how so many women, men, all ages, from all over the world are making money with a flexible schedule, with an automated system. They're doing it every day.